All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 772. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who found Starfield so mediocre he only spent 40 hours playing it, Wombat.
I don't know if I spent 40 hours. It might have been like 38.
Well, I was way off.
I mean...
Fair enough. I stand corrected.
You should feel bad.
We need to have the facts right here at the CAGcast. That's what we're known for.
That's what this is all about.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. Wombat finished Starfield.
I did.
I uninstalled Starfield.
I did not.
Well, maybe you can now.
I could if I want to. We'll get to the reasons why I might later. There might be reasons, and it's not so much about Starfield as it is about other things.
It's racist. The game is racist.
And it's racist. Mm-hmm.
Sexist.
Yes. All the ists.
Todd, no offense, man.
Sorry, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how it doesn't say that's a good game, man. Because now we disagree. That guy let me down the most, I have to say. Watching that guy who stole the 67 copies of Starfield talk about how awesome the game was before it came out. He's the guy that got me the most fired up for Starfield.
Yeah, but he stole 67 copies, so he clearly had some skin in the game.
How many more did he sell, though?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't put that together, Juan, but of course he's going to hype up the game. What's he going to do? Oh, this game sucks. Don't buy these 67 copies of the game I have. I didn't put that together. I saw it as like this guy who's not even really a gamer is having he's smoking a huge blunt and having a genuine excited reaction to the game, but of course it was just a thief who was trying to move units. So anyway, what's been going on? Anything exciting happening?
It was Yom Kippur on Monday.
That is exciting.
Did you have a good fast?
I had a good slow.
I fasted.
Roasted pork at the Chinese food place.
Nice.
Yep. Rice rolls. Not kosher for Passover, but delicious and available at a low price.
Well, I mean, kosher for Passover on Yom Kippur is so unnecessary.
Because you're not eating anything.
Yeah, that's true too.
No, I don't do that. I don't believe in that.
I probably don't either, yet I still do it. I think that's just part of that indoctrination that's drilled into me over time.
I fought that indoctrination hard.
You did better than I did.
I went upstream to forget about a different religion. I went to like a different continent.
We had a very non-traditional breaking the fast though, because it was just the four of us.
Was it McDonald's hamburgers?
It was not McDonald's, although we did let Sabrina choose, and it wasn't what we had originally planned on because we let Sabrina choose. We wound up going to Chili's to break.
I was close. That was my next guess.
Mm-hmm. That would have been a good second guess.
How were they?
How was the chili con queso in a skillet?
We didn't have that. We did have the chips and salsa, but no chili con queso. I did have a chicken fajita though. That was pretty good.
How are their buttered noodles and French fries?
She had a quesadilla. She eats quesadillas. So
also yellow.
Yes, also yellow. Also, yes, more yellow foods on the short list. Yes. Mm-hmm.
To Chili's. That's not the theme song. I just realized I didn't know the theme song to Chili's when I started.
That was Chia Pets.
Right. I realized I haven't seen a Chili's commercial in probably 15 years.
I mean, the baby back ribs people, right?
It's the baby back rib song. I want my baby back.
Yeah. You need a new hit song, I think, to get me back there.
I mean, not to knock Chili's down, but in the last year, because honestly, we don't go there as often as we once did because the kids are older and they don't always want to go. Sabrina will go with her friends, but not with us. Right. Like, if we're going to go out to dinner, I would prefer to go to a nicer restaurant.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Only crazy people.
Children.
People who don't know any better. People who don't know any better is the answer.
Children.
That's the definition of children.
Pop into a Chili's if you want. The
definition of children are people who don't know any better. Pretty much.
The fajitas aren't bad. But in the last year, They've
Wait,
changed
are you
their
gonna have
menu.
fajitas at like a Mexican place though, or
Yeah, I'm
at
saying there, but
Chili's?
yes, there are better places to get everything.
Okay.
I'm just saying there are worse. I've had worse fajitas. Is where I'm going with this.
But you've never had better chili con queso in a skillet anywhere else.
That is true. They've changed their menu 4 times in the last year.
Cost cutting.
Yeah. Like they. At one point it was twice as big. Now it's half that. At one point they were like they've changed it 4 times. It's very strange. I will say this iteration is better than the last 2 of the menu. But
now all they have is the con queso in a skillet.
I mean, they expanded the wings menu, the offering on buffalo wings or chicken wings, however you want to describe it, and also their chicken finger is like there's now like 7 options for chicken fingers if you want chicken fingers. Like that's like a whole side of the menu now.
A la cuisine.
That wasn't a thing before. Yeah. Mhm. I'm just saying.
Today's ingredient: chicken fingers.
I would watch the hell out of that episode of Iron Chef. I bet that would be hysterical to watch Miyamoto go, I took a $2 million fish and I sliced it up with some chicken fingers.
Ugh, that sounds horrible.
I know. And yet you would still try it. I would love to have been a judge on that show.
Yep.
That's good show. Good show.
Chip, anything going on over there?
I did not eat it at Chili's.
That's good. That is positive.
I mean, I would. The Chili's is just a little bit too far away for it to
Is
be
that the
even
problem?
a possibility for us. Like,
I feel like there's so many options now. Like, how can you choose Chili's?
Well, I mean, my kids, like, our nearby options are like Buffalo Wild Wings, and so that's our Chili's equivalent. Is that my kids are like, oh, let's get BW3s. It's like, all right,
It's basically the same restaurant. They're all the same.
Yeah,
Probably owned by the same company, serviced by the same.
Yeah,
it
food
might
suppliers.
be. I'm trying to think because Buffalo Wild Wings is that same company that also owns Arby's and Subway now. They just bought Subway.
Oh, Shitco? Is that it?
Yes. Raging Diarrhea Incorporated.
Delicious.
Isn't that RDI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. RDI.
RBI?
No, not RBI. That's a baseball term.
I understand going to these places when you don't have a lot of options, but we have a lot of options. Even you, Ship, must have a lot of options.
You
can't blame it on the kids. Don't blame it on the kids. You still have options. There's still so many options.
100% actually can.
No,
and
it's
Shipwreck
just
knows why.
Because
and I can explain it to you later.
Because
they're under Inspire. That's who they're under.
Yes, Inspire.
That's who owns Arby's and Buffalo Wild Wings and Sonic and
Baskin Robbins,
Dunkin' and
all the sugar foods.
Yeah, Inspire. That's the name of that crazy company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know. We went to Kings Island, the Halloween.
Oh, how was that?
Fest that Kings Island has started. It was good. We didn't do the scary part. Like at 7:00 is where it turns over from like friendly Halloween to like they close down the kids area, and then it's on.
Right, so you have to leave by then.
Yeah. It was a Sunday, so we're gonna leave no matter what by then. But like it was a little dicey because we got there, and it was great. It was like I don't know, close to 80 degrees. Like
so Halloweeny.
Yeah, so Halloweeny. But the lines weren't bad because all of the families were in the kids area because they were doing like all the kids activities, and we're like, oh, we can ride all these other rides everywhere. And then like 3 rides in, we're in line for it's a roller coaster called the Bat. It used to be the Top Gun roller coaster before Paramount when bailed out of the company. I guess so Emmeline just looks over the rail and just hurls everywhere.
Oh
yeah, we're only like, I don't know, we're like 3 rides in or something like that. We're like, oh no, she's sick, like we better like go home. And like we were there with like each of them had a friend with them, and we're like, oh, this kind of gonna run the whole day. And then we're like, okay, well, she seems like she's okay, like,
Right. She had some
let's
bad
go.
sushi, maybe.
Well, what we figured out was that Gretchen's mom had accidentally broken an egg earlier in the week when she was at her house and put it inside a Tupperware container. And then 4 days later, that's what Gretchen fixed Emmeline for breakfast. And so the combination of like somewhere between 3 and 4 roller coasters and a questionable egg. Like,
you mean the egg was broken, like in the container, and then she just put it in a separate Tupperware container to save it instead of just throwing it in the garbage?
Correct.
Okay.
We held on to this egg.
Did you explain to her that eggs are plentiful in these lands?
Yeah. Egg prices have come down significantly in the last year.
Yeah.
Even still, we don't need to be playing press your luck with the eggs. We can just eat something else or buy new eggs.
You know what? You could also, like, if you just cook the egg right when you broke it and save the cooked egg in a Tupperware, that would still last longer than the raw egg saved in a Tupperware. Just saying.
I wasn't going to eat it.
Have to throw it away.
So you didn't go home and you stayed at the park?
We didn't go home. Like,
perfect.
We sat down for a few minutes and she's like, I think I'm feeling better then. And so we went on like the roller coaster that had the most loops on it next to test it out. She was fine.
That's good. There was nothing left in the stomach. It was all clear.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So the day was salvaged. We got to ride a bunch of roller coasters.
No egg on your face.
No.
You explained to your mother-in-law about eggs and how they have a lot of them at the supermarket and we can get them anytime we need them and we don't need to be making decisions like life, decisions like that could affect our health just to save like a quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. I
put Gretchen in charge of that talk.
I don't know what this. Yeah,
I'm not your department.
That's not my department. My department is if I see that in the fridge, I throw it out.
Throw it out. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's my role in this. Is like, let's just go ahead and get rid of this.
Yeah, Wombat, you heard about that sushi place on Long Island that like everybody started projectile vomiting at the restaurant because the sushi was bad, and it was so bad that it didn't even kick in later. Like most of the time when you get food poisoning, I'm just thinking of it was like 12 people projectile vomiting at this place. I think it was in Stony Brook.
Oh, I did not hear about that, but I'm glad.
Oh yeah, it's closed down. The place is out of business now. Because
that's unfortunate.
The place was called like Kumo something, and there were other
Wasabi sushi,
and there were some other restaurants that also had a similar name, and their business got affected too, even though they had nothing to do with that restaurant.
That sucks.
I'm going to give everybody the best tip about eating at a sushi place. It's not going to apply to a lot of you because you just don't have many options. But if you're in like the New York area, you're in the city, here's a great tip that could help you pick out an authentic sushi place from, your typical run by some other Asian that's not Japanese sushi place.
Look for the lucky cat.
No. I mean, that's not even it. It's easier than that. There's probably lucky cats in real sushi places, maybe.
Do.
Yeah, in every one of them. That was
But what the fake places do is they'll name the place after like a simple Japanese vocabulary word that like an elementary school student would learn in first grade. Like in this case, the place was called Kumo, which means cloud or something, or like Mizu or like miso or words that it's not somebody's name. If it's a Japanese person's last name, then that's a restaurant that's owned by a Japanese person. If it's basically like naming your restaurant water or salt or ketchup, then that's run by some other ethnicity, and you may be projectile vomiting in the near future.
I feel like my local Japanese place is run by a Japanese.
What's it called?
That's what I was gonna say, but it's called Minami.
That could be a person's name, but no, I don't know. What does it mean?
I have no idea.
Let's see.
I just know that they have the best sushi around.
South, it means. No, but it's also a name. It's a name too. Yeah. So it could be a person's name.
And they just redid the whole place. And now the woman at the front counter, she has a name tag and it's like electronic.
Okay.
And then her name scrolls like it's like something out of Blade Runner. It's very weird.
Yeah. No, Minami could be a person's name too.
So
anyway, just a little tip. If you have it to, if you're wondering. But again, it's not going to help. Like, you have no options then.
Ours is called Mint. What does that mean in Japanese?
Oh, that's a person's name.
Oh, that's a person. Good. Where's that then?
Yeah.
Johnny Mint. He's known for his sushi skills around the globe. Oh boy. All right, let's do some show feedback.
Oh my goodness, this took longer than I thought. Idiot Man 09 says,
That's what she said.
I heard one of the last 2 Kmarts in the world is in Long Island. It's not in Long Island, it would be on Long Island, but that's neither here nor there. When is the last time any of you have been to Kmart, and is there a Little Caesars inside of it? I believe that last Kmart on Long Island is gone.
Was that the one in Jericho?
I think so. I think it's gone.
The last one I went to, I think, was in Guam, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Not the one in Penn Station?
Well, I was living in, I think that was long gone, but then I came and I was back. I would never go in there. Yeah, maybe I went in there.
It was back when you were back.
Yeah. I probably went to the bathroom there or killed time there.
I killed many times, many a minute in that. Some mornings when I just didn't want to go in, I would kill some time in that Kmart.
And they did not have a Little Caesars.
No, it did not. It had it had some decent, amount of stuff in there. It was a large.
Did it have a Kmart cafe?
No, it had
no. There was nothing decent about it. I was wondering where you were going, but you said it was a decent size. So yes, I would agree with that. But beyond that, there was nothing.
Although there was one time, do you remember? I don't know. Well, you take the Long Island Railroad probably more often than I do now. The newer trains, when they first came out, they had these rubberized armrests.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to replace them all because basically if you rubbed against it the wrong way, like scooting out of the train, your pants would get caught just on the rubberization,
right?
And it was tearing people's pants.
You mean like the friction was so intense
that it would catch on almost like Velcro
That's funny.
and tear pants.
I bet it sounds very durable though.
That happened to me once.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, I don't have time to figure out what pants to get. And I went to the Kmart in Penn Station and I bought a new pair of pants in Kmart for like $15.
And you just tried them on in the store and wore them out?
I didn't even do that. I just like.
They don't have a changing room, I don't think.
No, I'm like, these should fit.
Too dangerous.
Yeah. And that was it. And that's my Kmart story is the time I ripped my pants on the train and I had to get new pants at the Kmart pants.
Yeah, they didn't even have a bathroom there. Forget about changing room.
No. There's a bathroom in Penn Station. Many. I'm not saying you should use the bathroom in Penn Station. I'm saying
it might be nice. Might be nice now. I don't know if they fixed it. Anyway, let's do some more topics.
Sure. Lorax has to say, I could be wrong, but given that it's been so long since I started listening, but if I recall correctly, this is the longest Wombat has stuck to an exercise routine. Congrats, Wombat. Keep it up. I enjoy your OTF updates. I am still going.
Answer his question. Is it the longest you've stuck to an exercise routine?
I don't think so. No, because, are we counting high school and college? Because I did. I did a lot of exercise and probably from junior year of high school through my senior year of college. I did aerobics for about 30 to 60 minutes a day.
Like what kind of aerobics?
I had because you'll laugh at me, but I weighed 140 pounds then, so you can laugh all you want. But I had an aerobics tape that my mother gave me. She said, you'll lose weight if you do this, because I ballooned up my junior year of high school. And then I lost all the weight.
What was the tape?
I don't even remember what the woman's name was.
Really?
Yeah, but I had this tape forever. And there was one that was also like a weight tape. And I had like 15-pound weights, and I would do with that too. So I got into really decent shape with those tapes. I don't think I wouldn't even know where they are now. But
Get in Shape Girl, was that it?
Yeah, yeah. It was the most 80s schlock tape, but you know what?
It worked.
Did the trick. It worked. So I did that for years, actually.
Right. If you get those tapes back, you could save a lot of money.
I know.
Orange Theory.
When I moved to the city is when I kind of like stopped that altogether. But I used to do that in my room in the house in school in the mornings. Yeah. So there's that.
Shape,
and I've been doing Supernatural for a while now.
That's true.
And I do that a lot. I stopped doing that. That's when I gained a good amount of weight in the last year, but there was a good year I did that. And I've been doing that 3 to 4 times a week for the last 3 months now, probably more than I do Orange Theory.
I saw you had 350 calories today.
Yes.
Burned, which I think is much more than you normally do.
Well, I did some Supernatural this morning.
No, I'm saying the Supernatural. I feel like you overachieved today.
I did 2 routines today.
I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
Noted. Yeah, look at you.
These Apple Watches can really let you intrude on people's lives without having to do anything.
I did do 2 Supernatural routines, and they announced today the Supernatural's price is going down.
And you jacked off after.
And but that's neither here nor there.
That's from
a man's got a shower.
I think you should leave.
Just
jacking off.
Yeah. No, Supernatural's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yes. And Orange Theory is still great. And my next 8-pack renews tomorrow. So I'll probably go on Friday.
Nice.
Because right now I have 0 classes.
Nice.
Because I use them all. That's
the goal. That's the idea. 2 a week. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. I've done, It's 8 classes a month. So 17 classes.
Great.
Yeah.
Chip, aren't you proud of Wombat?
I am.
It's really great.
It is.
I've done.
Tell him how great he is.
Tell me how great I am.
You're great.
Thank you.
I reply on the Apple Watch stuff sometimes.
Yes, you did. I saw. And you know what it is? I also went for a walk with the dogs this afternoon. So that'll also help.
Then you jacked off.
No.
It's an extra 80 calories.
Yeah, right? Champ Pipple D says, love the overconfident dude story. Please update if he ever comes back. Also, don't hold back any poop or vermin related ping pong club updates. So this is your chance. Are there any updates?
Guy did not come back as far as I know. I mean, come on. I still think about that guy, but he's not coming. There's no way a person looks at that and thinks they can participate at that level. Unless they're really at that level, or their ego is just like, I don't know what the term is for that when you are just completely delusional. Out of touch. Yeah, just delusional about one's abilities.
Rory didn't think it was a challenge. He saw what you were offering up.
He's like, I'm going to find some other club where they had where there's Olympians. I need Olympians. Olympians are better. What's better than Olympians? Yeah, I don't expect to see that guy again. I feel like my new theory is that on his way in, he rehearsed what he was going to say in his head, as some people do, and wasn't expecting to see what he did, but just went with what he was going to say anyway. You buying that at all? Or just delusional?
I can't imagine anybody rehearsing what they were going to say before walking into a ping pong club.
Maybe he wrote it on his hand.
I don't know. Walking into a ping pong club is weird.
I wish you would all stop making fun of my oversized hand. It all started back in 1974.
No, I don't know. We won't see that guy again. But trust me, I'm on the lookout for him. And I will text some people who went to the league last week just to make sure that he didn't show up and nobody forgot to tell me about it.
Run house on everybody.
It's impossible. It's just impossible. It's impossible. Unless he's joking and he was actually really great, really trained for years. But no, just not possible. Vermin stories. I got really upset today when I walked into the club and I saw roaches because I had instituted Operation Zero Bugs while the owners were away with signage and everything and messaging.
Stay out bugs.
Well, not to the bugs. The messaging was for the customers and the people, the members. So, if you're bringing outside food and you don't finish
stop bringing cockroaches with you.
Well, stop making the cockroaches coming by leaving the food, your gross food, in the garbage can. Just bring it outside if you bring your gross food. Clean up after yourself and all these types of things that normal people would do, but you just need a little sign.
On laminated signs.
Yeah, the signs need to be bigger. That's the problem. Anyway, like I feel like it's just like when the owners
you
are
need
back.
a bigger laminator.
I just need to order them from like Canva or something, which I've done before, by the way. Not for not for Operation Zero Bugs, but anyway. I had to yell at one of the owners today. It's like, you take out the garbage every night. You have to. Like, what are you doing? You can fix you. Anyway, made me very upset. I was on my way to lunch too, and I was like, trying to help, making it hard. Anyway, how about watch this, jerks?
Sure. Someone watched a movie. I have a feeling I know who it is.
I did watch. I can't believe.
Is it a movie for adults? Then it was me.
I finally got around to we watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Finally, you got it. I can't believe it took so long.
I heard that was actually supposed to be pretty good, though. Was it good?
It is. These Puss in Boots movies are way better than they should be. Like I don't understand. Like, why are they still making Puss in Boots movies, and why are they still good? It doesn't make any sense.
I assume they make money. Is the answer?
I would guess so, but you would think at the same time it's like, oh, yep, you're right. You were right. It made a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It was, the budget was I don't know, 110 million on the high side, and it pulled in 485 million at the box office.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
It's because of Puss. It's because of Puss. It brings the dads in. The dads.
Is that what it is?
It's like
So
subliminal.
like, I want to see some Puss.
They know they're not going to see it, but it's like subliminal. Like, it's just, they can't escape it, you know?
I mean, if you're going to see Puss, it might as well be in Boots.
No.
It's just odd to me because it's like, it's not like a character, like, you don't see like a lot of merchandise, right? For Puss in Boots.
Right. That's
like,
true.
It's still, you're pulling in $500 million, like half $500 million on a Puss in Boots movie. And you're not just like phoning it in either. Like, it's actually like entertaining to watch.
It's actually good.
I'm surprised you didn't watch Elemental yet.
Not yet. It's on the list.
Okay.
It took a long time for this Puss in Boots movie to come to like services.
It was on which one of them? Paramount a while back.
Yeah. But we were watching all the Marvel movies at that time. And it finally came. But yeah, it's a good movie, and there's a chance, no, probably not spoilers here, but they might make another Shrek movie, is where it kind of leads to.
Nice.
One can hope.
Right. Who doesn't want another Shrek movie?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did watch a movie over the weekend. Sabrina and I actually had a rare movie night, the two of us, because she wanted to watch Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock
The original
classic, because she was interested in it from a filmmaker's perspective, because that's how she is now. And she didn't know anything about it, literally nothing, which I was very envious of. And I'm like, I would love to be able to go into a movie like Psycho, which I knew it was spoiled to me before I ever saw it.
I knew just did that for Puss in Boots for everybody. I feel bad now.
So I was kind of envious that she was able to see a classic like that. One of the first movies that kind of have a twist ending. Before that was like a thing. And to watch her be able to experience that in real time, not knowing what any of the twists were, was actually really cool. Also, I think that movie holds up. It's slow in parts.
Sure.
It can be a little talky, but it's also a 60-year-old movie, early 60s it came out, so maybe older than that. But that movie is fantastic. Not that you need to be told that Psycho is fantastic, but if you don't know anything about it and you have the opportunity to go into that movie raw, I highly recommend it.
Raw.
Yeah.
In raw on movies now. All right.
Yes, now we go in raw.
Right. Just don't rub against that armrest on the train.
Yeah, just
have no skin left.
Don't rub yourself raw.
On the TV side, I got Wombat to start watching Foundation. Did you finish the first season? You got far.
I'm only on. I got up to episode 7.
Oh, okay.
So that means I watched a shit ton of Foundation over the weekend.
Well, only 7 hours.
So
only a fraction of Skyrim, a small, tiny sliver.
That's true. But yes. I liked it. I liked what I watched. He didn't sell it very well.
What do you mean I didn't sell it well? I got you to watch it. I sold it perfectly. How many things do you watch that I fucking try to get you to watch? Like maybe 10% if I'm lucky. So I feel like I sold it perfectly. I had an afternoon
to myself because everyone was gone, and I'm like, well, what do I watch? I'm like,
after I jerked off.
Cheapy's like, Cheapy told me to watch The Foundation. I guess I'll check that out. I was pleasantly surprised to see not only Lee Pace in the cast. I'm a fan of his work, but also my good friend Terry Mann is in that movie. My good friend who I spoke to maybe twice 20 years ago, but he plays the older emperor, who Chibi would know as the original Javert from Les Mis on Broadway.
Nice. I did
So,
see it on Broadway. I don't know if he was there when I saw it.
He might have been gone by then. Who knows? He was also the original Beast in Beauty and the Beast. He's a big Broadway guy, and he was also in all the Critters movies. All the Critters
on Broadway.
On Broadway. So when he would come into the office back in the day, in the agency days, I would always ask him questions about Critters, and he would love to talk about it. He loved talking. He would always light up when you mentioned Critters. He goes, "Let me tell you how great Critters was. They were made for like 80 cents, but I bought a house." I'm like, all right.
Nice. Get you in the end. Was that? No, that wasn't Critters. Was that Critters or Ghoulies?
Mm-hmm.
Ghoulies get you in the end.
Ghoulies get you in the end. That's right.
Ghoulies get you in the end. Yeah.
The toilet thing. But
you like the show?
I do like the show.
Do you find, I started watching it because the story in Starfield I found a little bit lagging and shallow, and I immediately found the story in this one complex and mysterious.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Do I...
Don't spoil anything.
I don't want to spoil anything. I think some of it's a little long-winded.
There's a lot,
for long-winded
sake. Sure.
It could be a little bit more concise. I like that I think there's only 2 likable characters in the entire show. At least by episode 7, there are only 2 likable characters in the entire show.
Well, that's what's interesting about it. I feel like the characters are not just good/bad. Like, they're complex and they do things that you don't understand right away.
Complex and likable. I understand why the bad guys are not likable. I get that, but I feel like they clearly are saying these are the good guys and these are the bad guys. And I feel like even with the good guys, there's only 2 of them that are remotely that I care about in any way, shape, or form.
You're supposed to care about humanity.
Yeah, I don't care about humanity either.
Well, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a problem. That's been an ongoing problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you going to continue watching? Are you going to finish the first season?
I'll probably.
Supposedly, the second season's better.
I made it this far. I might as well keep going.
Yeah, I like the look of it. I like the effects. I like the story. It's interesting. The story, it's interesting.
The story is.
And if you're thinking about like the Roman Empire, you can think about the genetic dynasty of Foundation, of the Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do some quick shopping news because this happened over our between the last show and today. Amazon is getting sued by the FTC and 17 states because of monopoly concerns. And when I was reading the article, I came across this little part that mentioned that Amazon collects 27 cents of each dollar customers spend buying things its merchants sell, and that's gone up 42% from 5 years ago. So I looked at that and I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot, 27 cents. But then when I thought about it, I was like, wait, is that a lot? Because like Apple takes 30 cents and so does Steam, I think, still, and Microsoft and everybody. And there's not even like a warehouse there or any type of physical stuff. So I was thinking either this is too little or the digital storefronts are taking too much. Something doesn't make sense. Or I'm not understanding something properly because I don't know. It seems like that's backwards.
Maybe it's a volume thing.
Well, they're doing crazy volume for sure, but still they're taking a small, basically the same percentage, more or less. But I feel like the digital ones taking too much. Seems like.
I don't know.
I feel like where's Tim? I'm on Team Tim now.
I mean, I can understand them. Like, this is just for like the third party people that are selling stuff on there, right?
Yeah. This isn't for. I mean, it's shipped and sold by Amazon. It doesn't affect you.
What do you mean doesn't affect you?
It doesn't. I mean, this doesn't has nothing to do with things that are shipped and sold by Amazon. Amazon collects 100%.
Yeah, this is all
no. I mean, this is. I guess they're talking about the average profit per dollar that is passed through on Amazon.
But on merchants, it's like if people sell on there, like they would on eBay.
Yeah, you could sell stuff on Amazon
or.
God, like it's merchants. It's merchants. Right. Yes, it's but that's most of what Amazon is now. It's almost everything is merchants.
I usually.
How do you know?
It says it when you go to buy something.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It tells you whether it's shipped and sold,
shipped and sold by Amazon,
or ships from Amazon. If
but all this stuff is shipping from Amazon now. All these third party. That's the whole point of this thing.
It says shipped and sold. It's two different things. In the right-hand side of the screen. Sometimes it says shipped by Amazon, sold by, Joey's plumbing service. And sometimes it says ships from Amazon and sold by Amazon.
So I think,
and I usually look for things that are shipped and sold by Amazon. Right. Those things I don't have to worry if they're going to show up or not.
I'll do the ships from Amazon too if I'm looking for like used stuff that isn't going to like that it doesn't make sense that Amazon's going to have copies of. I think like the 27 cents, like, sure, that seems substantial, but I think it's that 42% jump from 5 years ago that might be what is the problem.
Yeah.
But because otherwise, like, Amazon's doing all the heavy lifting in this scenario, right? Like,
well, sure, but now what is Steam doing? What is Apple doing?
They're the marketplace. That's where they're bringing the customers. Where else are you
going to sell your game?
Yeah, they're bringing the customers the same way Amazon is. Like, Amazon's not only bringing the customers, but they're also providing the warehousing and shipping if they're using the ships from Amazon service.
Right. So how can they both be the same? Is what I'm saying.
I
doesn't seem right. It seems like one of those should be higher than the other, and it should be Amazon that's higher.
Maybe
it seems like there's a lot more. I don't know. Overhead there. Maybe I'm wrong because maybe I don't understand the nature of scaling a digital marketplace, but it seems like building warehouse space would be more expensive. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
know that you're necessarily wrong on it. I just like
it has to do more with what you can get away with. If you could get away with 30% and you're able to maintain a successful business model at 30%, why would you charge less than that? Because you're a nice guy,
right? And I feel like eBay percentages are in this ballpark, if not higher, as well, at this point. And they're providing, again, they're bringing you the marketplace, but they're not even shipping anything for you or holding anything for you. Or
they are purely an electronic bay,
right?
So basically, what we're saying is 5 years ago, when they were not earning anywhere, close to 27 cents. They were way under market, really. And they're just maybe in another 5 years, this is trending, trending in the same direction. The
question is, when did the reselling program on Amazon really start? Because I feel like 5 years ago, there weren't that many resellers on Amazon. So you also have to remember that they're competing with an eBay for this reseller business. So to have a lower buy-in 5 years ago makes sense when you're trying to undercut your competition. So now here we are 5 years later, and you have these storefronts that have built their livelihoods with these Amazon storefronts. They're not going to eBay because they're already in the weeds with their Amazon storefront. So now the prices have gone up and they have nowhere else to go because they've built their business. So Amazon is able to get away with it. They're not in the business of trying to steal people away from eBay anymore. Now they're just in the business of trying to make as much money as possible.
Walmart did the same thing though, really. Like they would squeeze their suppliers
Well, and Walmart has a third-party marketplace as well.
Yeah, I meant I was talking about like the store, the brick and mortar stores. I watched that documentary about how they would just squeeze the fuck out of their suppliers because they need to have the lowest prices by a lot. Like they were very demanding. Anyway, a lot of isn't Google having antitrust?
Complex.
Yes, it's
complex.
And it's like, how is this? If this is a monopoly, then how is like the Apple Store not a monopoly? How is Steam not a monopoly?
How is Monopoly not a monopoly?
It is a monopoly.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
Well, this isn't even that they are a monopoly in this case, though. Which Amazon's pretty like, if anything was a monopoly, like Amazon's about as close as you can be at this point, right? Like you've got your competitors in that you have the brick and mortars that they're competing against that also offer online, like the Walmarts and the Targets. Well,
it actually is. They are being called a monopoly in the complaint.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
yeah, they reference it. They definitely reference.
Well, it's kind of hard not to.
I mean, it's not it's no secret really. All right, let's get some new releases going.
New releases. There's a couple. There's one that I'm playing.
Okay, let's hear about that one first then.
Yeah, we'll start with that. I was sent a code for Days of Doom.
What is that?
That is a turn-based roguelike game that takes place in like a post-apocalyptic United States, like in the middle of the US, and you're going across a map, and it's you have like 4 different character types. Like there's, a brawler, and there's like someone with magic powers, and there's a healer, but they all look very, kind of post-apocalyptic-y, very what's the
Mad Maxy?
No, what's the Walking Dead? Kind of Walking Dead like lots of hoodies and ripped jeans kind of look.
Okay.
And you're fighting zombies in a turn-based. If you played a turn-based game, you understand.
I've played a turn-based game.
My son described it as, it looks a lot like Plants vs. Zombies, but instead of plants, there are people. The original Plants vs. Zombies, not the 3D action ones. Yeah, the first Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay.
It actually has a very similar graphic style, where it's somewhat cartoony, and it's not bad. It's fun. It's not the greatest thing I've ever played, but obviously far from the worst. But it's
like the Chili's of video games.
Kinda. I mean, it's a turn-based rogue. What makes it interesting is the rogue
turn-based roguelike.
Yeah. Chili's. What makes it interesting is the roguelike aspects, that when your party dies and you go back to your campsite, and you can upgrade your campsite with the materials that you have left, and buff your characters and make them stronger for your next run. That's really where the game shines. They did a really good job there. I just, I don't know if it's meaty enough to warrant even a $30, but I could see it being like at one point when it goes on sale being a worthwhile pickup if you're looking for that type of game to play. There you go.
Nice. What else we got here? I played one of these games.
Which one?
Payday 3.
Really? See, I was going to, and I didn't. Can I tell you why before you tell us about it?
Sure.
So when I went to start up the game that I had downloaded, it told me I needed to create an account somewhere.
Oh, yeah. And you're out.
And then I clicked the button, and it took me to like the web browser on the Xbox.
The worst browser.
And I was like, I guess I could go to my phone and try this. And I thought maybe if I went to my phone, there would even be the option to like, you create an account with your Xbox ID. Like sometimes they do that one button thing.
Yeah.
And that wasn't there. And I was like, screw this. And I just uninstalled the game and never made it past that create an account page.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only one to do that, because when that window popped up, I was like, well, it's decision time.
Yeah. It's never like a joyous feeling when that I get to set up an account.
I feel like there's gotta be
fantastic.
Like I have an account, it's on this console.
Right.
Use that one.
Right.
There's gotta be a way that you can just automatically link that up to whatever your service is, especially on a Game Pass game. But anyway, you tell me if that game is worth me creating an account.
Oh man, I wanted to like it, but it's first of all, you murder a lot of cops in this game. This is
Isn't that the game? Isn't that what the game's about?
I mean, I thought it was more like strategic, figure out how to, steal these jewels from the jewelry store, case the jewelry store. And I guess that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't know. I couldn't really it's the barrier to figuring out all this stuff was sort of high. And then if you're matched with people who are just like don't know what they're doing either, like you're not going to get anything done and you're just going to start killing wave after wave of cops.
That's how these games worked. Is it like I never knew there was strategy in these
I don't
games.
know. I don't even know. I feel like there is, because like you need to figure out how to get into certain rooms and get the best, loot.
Anytime I ever played the previous ones, it was just shoot everybody which side you were on, right? Like can't you play like as the cops or the
No, I don't think you can play as the
robbers?
cops. It's just like it's a lot of cops. And
I
you're
think it was
just
a different game.
I mean, maybe not. I don't think you could ever. Could
I
you
think
ever?
of APB. Wasn't that one of those?
I don't think no one's thinking of APB. Only the arcade version. Yeah, it's a little like it was a little disturbing that I'm just making these piles of dead cops. It seemed I'm not that desensitized to violence at this point, where making a pile of just dead cops doesn't affect me somehow. Like I recognize that is happening, and I'm like, Anyway, I don't know. I only played it a few times. Maybe if I played with people who knew what they were doing, it would be more interesting. But right now, it's mostly making piles of dead cops. So I don't know. What else? New releases.
I don't think there's much else. I'm looking now. I mean, I don't see anything. There's the Resident Evil 4 expansion that came out. What is that called? Separate Ways.
Worlds Apart.
Which they remastered for the remaster. Heard that's pretty good.
All right.
I haven't played the remaster of the remaster yet, so I obviously haven't picked that up. What else? There's a new Harvest Moon.
No, let's do what? Let's get to your Fortnite news.
Paperboy's all grown up. Paper Man.
I don't think it's any relation. There's a lot of weird. Is that a Switch game?
That's a Switch game.
There's a lot of weird Switch games.
I love the weird Switch games.
Pray Game. Is that a religious game? Pray. Not. Yeah. All right, let's do Wombat's Fortnightly news. I see there is some Fortnite news.
There is Fortnite news, and it's not positive.
Their prices up?
They're raising their prices across the board for virtual dollars.
V-Bucks, you mean?
V-Bucks.
You don't even know the proper terminology after all those V-Bucks spent?
What? I call them Virtua dollars. That's not what they're called?
V-Bucks.
Virtua dollars.
That's something else.
Wow. So the basic $1,000, that's your cheapest, is going from $7.99 to $8.99.
A whole $1.
It's going up $1. The other bundle, the $20 bundle, is now $23. The 30, I think it was like a 30. I don't think it was 30. I think it was 32 or $33 bundle is now $37.
Shit, everything prices up everywhere.
And the $80 bundle is now $90.
AKA the asshole bundle.
Yeah, that goes into effect at the end of the month. I don't know. Maybe I have to spring the $80 before it goes up to $90 and get all the V-Bucks.
That's their plan.
That's what they want you to do.
That's what they're hoping for.
I know that's what they're hoping.
I mean, these prices will come back down like at some point, right?
They're not saying they will. What's interesting is it was, what was it, 2 years ago? They lowered their
it's going up.
They lowered their prices 20%, and now they bumped them back up to like 10%. So now it's like it's still less than what it was 2 years ago, but it's more than what we have had for the last 2 years.
How much you laying out on V-Bucks on a let's say a
annual basis?
Yeah, sure. I was going to say like monthly basis, but annual basis is probably a better way to look at it.
Let's see, because what I will do, the way I get V-Bucks mostly is with the crew pass. which I usually will get every other month.
How much does that cost?
That is $13. So let's say $13 6 times a year, or you could say, $6.50 a
About
month.
100.
If that.
Yeah.
No, every other month. So
okay.
So $13 every other month.
Yeah, it's
So
$96.
13 times 6.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
That's usually what that'll get me enough. That gets you 2 Fortnite skins and 1,000 V-Bucks and the season pass.
Okay.
So that's usually more all I need.
Are those going up in price as well?
No, the crew pass is not. That was actually part of the thing. Is that the crew pass is staying at its current rate.
So you don't need to buy extra V-Bucks outside of that crew pass, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I'll get enough. The season pass will give me 1,000 V-Bucks, and the crew pass will give me 1,000 V-Bucks. And I want to say when the first price drop actually hit around that time, when I got my creator code, I bought I did buy the whatever was the $80 bundle. I have still not used all of those V-Bucks from that first time that I bought that.
Like value bucks.
Yeah, basically. I bought that, and I've never gotten down. I have yet to get past 5,000 V-Bucks since I bought that pass, and I think I have 7,500 now.
Rich.
Yes, I am V-Bucks rich.
Sweet.
So, yeah. Do I spend too much on Fortnite? Probably. Do I spend money on any other game?
Less than $100 a year doesn't sound like too much.
That's not terrible.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I think I'm pretty good compared.
It's just like buying the latest.
Yeah,
no one's accusing you of anything. We're just talking, having a conversation. I mean, it's just like buying the latest basketball game every year, like with the extra tchotchkes.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually very happy with the money I spend in Fortnite.
So is Tim.
So
brother Tim.
Yep. So is our friends at Epic. I understand. But
what
anyway.
about Jim Ryan is retiring after 28 years with Sony?
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yep. Good for him.
That's the guy that what was his abortion thing? He told his employees what?
He told his employees that they should treat each other with respect, whether they are pro-life or pro-choice.
That's not wrong.
It's fine.
What's wrong with that? That's bad?
Nothing.
I thought he said something weird, though. That doesn't sound weird. I feel like that's not what he said.
It seems like something that I don't know why he would feel the need for whatever he is, whatever his title was, CEO.
Of abortions.
Yeah. Like, let HR send that email.
Oh. You're saying he's too into, like, abortions and stuff. He's thinking about abortions too much?
I don't know. It just seems like, why would you have someone else do that? If you're going to send that email, don't put your name on it.
Are you saying he's retiring so he can focus on abortions full time?
I mean, or fighting them. I don't know. Maybe that is why. I don't know. Maybe he sucks. I don't know.
Whoa. Slow down. All right, let's talk about what we're playing, because this list is long and it's getting late.
This list is long. Well, you already talked about one of them, luckily. I got a new game today. I teased this in the last show.
Oh.
Saying that I was on the list, but like the 3rd tier list for a major new release of the season. And I was thrilled and kind enough to have received a code for Mortal Kombat.
You were kind enough to receive a code?
They were kind enough to send me a code for. I can't.
You were humble enough to receive the code.
I am humble enough. Yes, I'm bad at this. I'm trying to be nice.
You're doing it. Well, we're helping. That's why we're here.
I appreciate it. It's been a long day.
Sure.
I got a code for Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
And Mortal Kombat is very good.
But RoboCop is not in this one.
Who isn't?
Is RoboCop in this one or no?
RoboCop is not in this one.
Huge oversight.
This game, it's very interesting because I played a decent amount of Mortal Kombat 11, which I liked.
That has RoboCop.
And does have RoboCop. And this game is significantly stripped down from Mortal Kombat 11, but I think in a positive way. There was a lot of unnecessary fat in the last Mortal Kombat game. It was still a great Mortal Kombat game. Like, the game itself was all there, but there was a lot of unnecessary stuff. Like, oh, you want to get this gear, you gotta destroy this piece of gear and combine it with this piece of gear, and then you could do this thing, and then you could level it up and merge it with this thing.
I hated all that. That's too much.
Yeah.
They got rid of that whole equipment thing?
All of it. Now you could still do things like unlock new hats, but now they're just hats.
Right. Okay. You don't have to.
So now I
hated that.
Yeah. Like I did this. There's the mode in there, which is similar. Think of like a Super Mario Brothers overworld map where you're walking along the line and there's a circle and you hit the circle and you have a fight. And when you have a fight, you unlock a doodad and you could do the whole map. It's like that. It's obviously a little nicer
hats?
than
You're just getting hats now? Is that it?
you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Gloves?
Okay.
You get like
you could get either a full-on new skin for a fighter. Sometimes it's new gloves. Like Johnny Cage, you could get the new sunglasses.
Okay.
I did the first map, which is really like a tutorial map, which is Johnny Cage's mansion. And you get to walk all around Johnny Cage's mansion and do all these fights. And when you finish it, you unlock the 2 chests in there. And you get like this whole Johnny Cage look that has like 6 different colors to it. And you could go and you could decide which one you want. They even have a thing where you could just have it set it to randomize, which I think is pretty cool because then you could use Johnny Cage and in between each fight, his outfit changes.
So now it's just straight dress up.
It's straight dress up, which is what it should be. But they also keep that carrot by having a lot of stuff unlockable. They got rid of the crypt. Which was that other thing that I thought was kind of annoying where you're walking around and like, well, which one of these should I open? Now you just go to like a dragon statue and you hand it 1,000 coins and the dragon statue spits out a piece of something. Like they just kept it simple. But I appreciate the simplicity and focusing on the fundamentals on what makes the game good. And also that new mode that I was talking about is super addictive.
All right, good.
Yeah, like it's a lot of fun to go through that. Like I said, Johnny Cage's mansion, and you select it and you fight someone who has some sort of augment on them, and it's just a 1 round, like kind of quick fight. But you kind of gives you a chance to kind of get a feel for a specific character. I did it with Sub-Zero, and you get, it was fun. It's Mortal Kombat,
but no RoboCop.
Invasion. It's called Invasion. Thank you, Striker199 in the chat. No RoboCop. But I've only put in maybe an hour and a half with the game. But again, so far, I'm like totally in on this new Mortal Kombat.
All right, nice.
I appreciate what they did there.
And yourself.
And and myself. And I appreciate myself.
I checked out Wizardry.
I put a little bit of
that. How was it? It's interesting. I really like how they present the old version of the game
off to the side. Like
it's so funny. Like, it's just the old version of the game was just like very simple graphics, right? Mostly just lines and text with like a little picture of the monster you're fighting. Mm-hmm. So they've just rendered that over the game in the bottom, like right corner, basically. Yep. It's tiny, but you can still read everything perfectly because it's just so simple and there's not that much information there. So you can, and it's all happening at the same time as you're playing the game. You don't have to push anything to make that happen. But it's a very simple role playing game because it's one of the first ever. I don't know. I only played 15 minutes of it. I didn't feel like much nostalgia.
Did you die like really quickly?
No, I got paralyzed. One of my guys got paralyzed, but I didn't have any problem.
All right. I went. And I mean, you're exploring the dungeon, right? Like it's step by step, first person, grid by grid as you're walking through. And I went through a door, and my entire party just got like wiped out.
Oh, that's like a trap. Got you.
No. Like there was like I opened up a door, and then there was 4 people that I was fighting against.
Oh, and they wiped you out right away. They had surprise.
They just wiped us. Like I had like 2 turns, and I was completely wiped out. And I'm like, all right. Like, am I just doing something completely wrong?
I think you got unlucky.
I think I got unlucky. Yeah.
I think that happened
like
in the original.
There's not like a bunch of options. Like it's like you've got like attack or parry or
you don't have many hit points when you start. So if the enemy is strong, if the enemy gets surprised,
right? I knew I was in trouble. Like when my first attack.
So when you die, is your game over? Is that it?
No, it's a turn-based roguelike. Have you played one of those before?
You can make new characters and all that stuff.
You can bring the old characters
if you have
back
money
to life if you have money.
I remember, I mean, I played the shit out of this game when it came out, and I remember, like, you know, having high level characters die, and then you got to make more money to bring them back.
I played a lot of Etrian Odyssey, which was similar in nature to this, right? Back on the 3DS. And so the map exploring and everything, it's fun. And the update, like this is a Digital Eclipse game. So it's well done. It's got the heart behind it.
And no mouse in this game, by the way.
No, that's the craziest thing too. It's like no mouse and not even like arrow keys. Like it's like page up and page down to like scroll, and it's got kind of funky controls to it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, old school.
Do we want to talk about Starfield?
I mean, you can quickly talk about what you thought of the ending, I guess.
Sure. So I finished the main story. I did one major side quest, which was a mistake. This is my advice. If you're gonna play Starfield, just run through the story. Do not do any side quests at all. Now, I saw that in some tweets and, like, you know, the reviews that I skimmed through because I didn't want to overread, where I saw that before. And what they didn't say was why. So I'm going to tell you why you want to just do the main storyline.
Because the game sucks and you just got to get through it.
No, when you finish the game, unlike a Skyrim or, you know, Fallout, although Fallout 3, they had to patch this in, the game basically does end. So you start back at the beginning again, and it just automatically takes you essentially to New Game Plus, where they give you the option to skip doing the main quest line, but all of the side quests that you've done, you have to do over again.
So you're basically just doing the side quests as the main quest? Is that what it is? Like, can you finish the New Game Plus? No.
But yeah, I guess. I'm sure I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you don't finish the New Game Plus. I have no idea how that would work, because once I got to the New Game Plus thing and I saw that, you know, all the other stuff that I had done, I would have to do again. Like, I'd have to rejoin the Space Navy and, you know, I'm like, I don't want to do any of that crap again. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I turned it off. Yeah. So I'm going to say that if you're interested in really doing everything in this game, but you don't want to do it all essentially twice, your options are to just burn through the whole story or make sure you finish everything before you do that last main story mission.
Is this going to be the least amount of hours that you put into a Bethesda game in like a long ass time? Yeah.
I mean, it might be. I don't feel a need to go back to it. I don't know if there's anything else I'd want to do again. I think the problems with the game are, and I think the issues with the problems with the game is that it's a Bethesda game, and at its core, it's fun, and there's some good things going on. The problems is some of the things that make Bethesda games feel special aren't there. The gear is kind of meh. Like, I never really found anything or finding new things that made me feel like I was finding something special or interesting that I really thought was, you know, cool. I think even towards the last mission I played in the game, I still had a weapon that I found in my first mission in my inventory, which is crazy.
Right.
You know, I think I had one spacesuit I think I got on the second mission that I wore until the end of the game. So, you know, there was just, so that kind of, you know, it's sort of like, oh, I guess this is what it is. It just didn't quite hit like it should have. It was missing something. It wasn't fully cooked, which we've said many times. It's still a Bethesda game. It's still not the worst thing I've ever played. It's far from it. It's just not.
It's not high quality Bethesda material. It's like rehashed.
I did try Cyberpunk 2.0.
No offense, man.
You have to do that so he doesn't get offended.
Yeah. I did try Cyberpunk 2.0, the 2.0 update.
Yeah.
I started that again from the beginning because I have
Okay.
no idea what's going on with
I
it.
installed it. I installed it.
All the way from the beginning. Okay.
All the way from the beginning. I think I only put in like 6 hours into that game originally.
Do you need to restart to do the new
No.
story? Oh, you just decided to.
Well, the new story is that there's the Phantom Liberty, whatever DLC.
You gotta pay
I
for
didn't
that?
get that.
You gotta pay for that or something?
Yeah, that you have to pay for. But they overhauled how the whole game, I guess, works.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Right.
But I will say the game looks good. I've enjoyed the little bit that I played. Things are coming back to me while I'm playing. Like, oh, I remember doing this 2 years ago. But I will say this also: the driving still sucks.
No.
That's something they didn't fix. The driving sucks. You put a waypoint on your map. Put the line in the goddamn road. Don't put the line in the little mini map. It's a video game. It doesn't have to be that realistic. Especially your video game takes place in cyberpunk future,
Right.
where everyone has electrodes stuck in their eyeballs.
Right. It's realistic. You can have the
Yeah.
line on the road.
Put the line in the road. Put the line in the road. So when I'm driving, I'm looking straight ahead at the game and not up in the mini map.
That's like one of your game tropes. Like
It is.
you hate when they don't put the line in the road.
When they don't put the line in the road. Because if you don't put the line in the road, you're not looking at the game. It's why the GTA games are significantly flawed. But yeah.
You let them know that.
I should let them know that. I have let them
They've been
know
hurting, I heard.
that. Yeah, exactly. They need my advice. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I haven't put enough time in there yet to give a full thing. Just sort of throwing it out there. I started the Cyberpunk 2.0 update.
I started installing it.
It's a lot better looking than Starfield.
It's 60 frames per second.
It was a lot better looking than Starfield 2 years ago.
I know, but this is like with graphical improvements.
Sure, but
Just think how good Starfield's going to be in like 3 years.
I mean, that's just it. It's like maybe 3 years from now, we'll start Starfield over again.
2.0.
Mm-hmm.
So how disappointing is like Starfield overall? I mean, another fucking Xbox like huge release that just sort of like
is there
comes out limping. You know, gets some good reviews, but also like some outlying like more realistic reviews. You know, it sort of reminds me of Halo. Like Halo got like crazy fucking good reviews when it came out, and then like 2 weeks later, people were like, "Where's the beef?" You know, how did this game get such great reviews? And I think this is the exact same thing is happening right here.
I think what's surprising is how the same issues with Halo are the same issues with Starfield. Is that it's very bare. It's missing something.
It didn't evolve at all from the previous iteration.
Yeah.
It just looks better. You know, it's evolved graphically, and that's it. And not that much. 30 frames per second, first-person shooter for the most part, not bringing home the bacon. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to waste time in that game. Instead, I have to watch Foundation.
I played a lot of Party Animals.
Really?
Oh, me too. I put that on here.
Yes.
I've been playing with Ty.
Yeah, we've been playing with the whole family. It's cute. It's entertaining. The different modes that you play, like the catapult mode, that one's a fun one. Where you have two teams and you're sending bombs from the one team over to the other side, but you can also fling your little animal characters on the catapults as well.
You mean the game that you made fun of me for playing last week when I said I unlocked the cow? That game?
I don't think we made fun of you.
I feel like you just think if we say anything, it's like making fun of you.
Right. I mean, I like Gang Beasts concept, so I feel like, I like playing as a cat that just looks like a cat, but is throwing people off a cliff.
Right. I wish the unlocks were a little bit like quicker to like unlock stuff. It's I feel like we've been playing a lot of this game and have not, like, I don't care if I get a new like avatar icon. Like nobody cares.
They want you to spend those dollars.
Yeah, it's a Game Pass game. They need that.
Yeah, but still, like, you can give me like something in there.
Look, if you can afford an egg, then you can afford couple
I mean, I
skins.
think we may spend
He
money on this
can't
game.
afford an egg.
I
We
may
established
spend money
that.
on this just because.
Yeah.
Like
That's what they want you to do. And you can, if you like the game, it's no,
Yeah, I can throw $10 at this game for some additional characters. The characters are like the art style's good too for the style characters they are.
It's funny. Big cat just like walking, hitting people with tennis rackets.
Right.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I wish the interface was a little better on that, like trying to setting up the games and getting into online matches.
Like, it took a little while, like, to figure out the split screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Here now, can you play split screen and online at the same time?
No, I couldn't figure that out.
I couldn't figure that out either. Like, it's like if we play online against people, it's just like we take turns. Playing. But
they should get that going because that would be fun.
Yeah, the split screen's good though as well because you can add in AI characters.
Yep.
So it's fun. I hope they continue to support that and add like even more modes as they go along. But
it's like Poi Poi. Remember Poi Poi?
Mm-hmm.
Evolved now.
Yeah.
With physics.
Yeah. I finished Disney Illusion Island as well.
I didn't even know you could finish that game.
Disney Illusion Island.
Oh,
I think you're thinking of a different game.
Oh, I'm thinking of that other one. Yeah.
Illusion Island is the Metroidvania 2D platformer
with Mickey and
Minnie and Donald and Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
You can play co-op. I thought that would be horrible, so I didn't even tell my family that it offered co-op. But it's a low stakes Metroidvania that is, I don't know. It's just kind of fun to play, and the music style reminds me of like the Disney parks type of music where it's just kind of like that cheerful kind of orchestra type music.
Mm-hmm.
And the animation style is based upon the current Mickey Mouse characters. Like if you know, like the kind of edgy looking ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a solid game. I like that game.
I didn't even. You talked about this before? You talked about this?
I talked about it months ago when it first came out.
Okay. I got confused and thought it was the other Disney one that Wombat was thinking of.
Yeah. This is
No, we've talked about this game before on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty then. I think it's time for the CAG bag. This is from Nick. He says, what is your go-to arcade game? Something if you see it somewhere, you absolutely would give it a play. Where do you see arcade games now? Like, where are you going that you see arcade games?
Long Island Retro.
Right. And I play everything, basically.
Yeah.
Like, if it's free, I'll just play it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's too many. Like, I would play a lot of games if they're free. Mm-hmm. And where else do you know, I don't think like a Round One type place or Dave and Buster's play. They don't even really have like.
Nah, there it's like I'm gonna play the Deal or No Deal.
Right, that doesn't count as a game. You know, I mean, I would play, all the 80s arcade games, basically. Jungle King, and, I'm not going to start naming games.
Mr. Do.
Not Mr. Do. Pengo, yes, not Mr. Do.
Mr. Do.
Always Pengo. Jeff writes in and he asks if I'll be watching the RoboDoc. They came out with a 4-part RoboCop documentary. It's been in the works for years and years, and it's available for purchase now. I'll watch it. I would like to not pay for it, but I guess I could pay for it.
How much is it?
I don't know. It's like $20, I'm sure.
I mean, that's like a dozen eggs.
It's not in 4K. I need to see Peter Weller in 4K. I need to see an aged Peter Weller.
I don't. You do.
Guga writes in and says, what do you think about Johnny Somali's behavior in Japan? Do you know who Johnny
I think it's terrible. I think it's a Shonda is the word I would use.
Do you know who he is?
No, I have no idea who that is or what it's about.
He's this streamer. I think he got kicked off of Twitch and now he's on like the naughty cousin of Twitch kick. And he just basically goes in public and harasses people. So he'll yell out like Hiroshima and Fukushima and stuff like that, things to like get a rise out of people in public. And he's live streaming it on Kick and whatever. I've seen videos where he gets knocked, like a guy literally knocked him out because it was a white guy who knocked him out in Tokyo. But he was just harassing people and a guy knocked him out. Anyway, He just got arrested for like, I don't know, he was trespassing on a construction site, trying to film some annoying fucking video where he's harassing construction workers. So he got arrested and now he's fucked. So that's what I think. I think he's fucked. And certainly since he's fucking filmed all of his shit. So now like,
is he a Japanese citizen?
No, of course not. I don't know what country he's from, but he's not Japanese. Is he
from Somalia?
I don't know, but he's going to be in jail for a long time. What's going to happen? I don't know. It's bad. Remember I talked about that Carlos Ghosn documentary on Apple TV? If you're interested in what's going to happen to Johnny Somali, you should watch that. Alex writes in and he says, why does Wombat say he dislikes Starfield, but then proceeds to put 30 hours into it? I know the answer to this. It's obvious.
What's the answer?
I mean, he has to do his due diligence. I mean, 30 hours into a Bethesda game is like he didn't even play it. How many hours you put into Skyrim? Like 150? Like more, right?
More than that.
Whoa, someone's excited.
Luna got very excited about that.
So Wombat putting 30 hours in Skyrim is like him not even playing it. That's like the trial. That's like a demo.
That is true. That's literally the least amount of time I put into one of these types of games.
Yeah.
So that answers your question.
Because I know, I mean, you rushed through it for the most part. You only did one side quest.
I only did one side quest, yes. Technically two, because it's the Navy and the pirates. I think you could just do one or the other, but they kind of intertwine.
Yeah. So yes, if he trust me, if he liked it, he'd be putting in 100 hours or more. So
I'd still be playing it.
And you were probably anticipating putting in like a ridiculous amount of hours into the. I was anticipating you doing it, and I was anticipating doing it myself. Fucking Todd, man. It's not a good game, man. No offense, Tom. It's bad. It's a mediocre game. All right. That's it, I think. We did enough show. Yeah. We talked about it all. Nothing left to possibly even talk about.
There's nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right. Bread's done.